Hey everyone, welcome to Sideshow's First Look. Today we'll be checking out the Captain Vaughn 6-scale figure by Hot Toys from Star Wars: The Clone Wars. The box is a standard shoebox design. The front features an image of Captain Vaughn, his DC-15C blaster carbine held at the ready, and with his helmet emblazoned with the telltale livery of the 332nd Company of the 501st Legion. The chrome Star Wars logo sits just below that image, and right over the Hot Toys signature cigar band in the tones of blue and gold unique to Hot Toys Clone Wars line of collectible figures. As we've come to expect, the cigar band sports two more images of Vaughn, the first with him again wielding the DC-15C, and the one on the left dual wielding the D-15C and the DC-15A long rifle. Taking the top off the box reveals a glorious image of the figure in its entirety, surrounded by a cloud of burning embers and smoke, with the butt of the DC-15A falling across his shoulder as he takes aim at an enemy off camera. With the insert off, we get our first look at everything that comes with the figure. There's Captain Vaughn, resting in his black plastic clamshell, surrounded by all of his accessories. They include a pair of antennae, 2 holograms, a holo emitter, the DC-15C blaster carbine, an assortment of 5 hands, the DC-15A blaster rifle, and a jetpack. Beneath Vaughn's legs, you can see the figure's Starship deck-themed display base. Now, let's take a top-to-bottom look at the Captain Vaughn figure. The helmet is a specialty design, seen before on the likes of Commander Cody. It features the paint scheme unique to the 332nd Battalion, Ahsoka Tano's ill-fated unit of the 501st Legion. The livery is similar to that on the helmets of other troops in that unit, only with some unique Merlot-colored elements on the visor. The helmet is lightly weathered with a faint wash, a pattern which continues throughout the rest of Vaughn's armor. That armor is mostly the standard issue for a clone in the Grand Army of the Republic, with the blue-on-white flashes unique to the 501st Legion. But there are a few telltale differences. Most obvious would be the pauldrons, which feature a sleeker, more elongated design than those of the average grunt. Additionally, you can spot a rank insignia attached to the cuirass, and the lower torso armor is a gray instead of white. The coders on Vaughn's armor are also blue instead of the standard white, and there's a single silver stripe running down the Riri braces and the Van braces. Everything else from the belt to the boots is identical to the armor worn by the rest of the 501st, and all of those armor elements come wrapped around a flexible full fabric bodysuit. Moving on to the articulation. The head rests on a double ball-jointed neck which will allow it to shift forward and back, left and right, and all points in between. Additionally, you can rotate that helmeted head as far as you'd like. That same neck post will allow the helmet to look down a full 45 degrees, and it can also look up around 30 degrees. Additionally, lateral tilt can hit about 30 degrees as well. The shoulders will shrug, dip, press, and row, and will allow the figure to hit more than 45 degrees of lateral lift. The shoulder joint combined with the flexible bodysuit will allow a full 180 degrees of anterior lift, as well as 180 degrees of posterior lift. The double-jointed elbows will allow for 135 degrees of bicep flex. And the expected swivel joint above the bicep allows the arms to rotate there. The armored torso allows for about 5 degrees of ab crunch, with about 10 degrees of extension. And you can comfortably hit about 45 degrees of torso twist. Each leg will hit nearly 90 degrees of lateral lift, about 90 degrees of anterior lift, and about 40 degrees of posterior lift. A ratcheted double joint at the knee will hit about 135 degrees of hamstring flex, and the usual joint at the thigh will allow you to rotate the legs there. Finally, the double jointed ankles will allow for some comfortable degrees of extension, flex, pronation, and supination. And finally, let's take a closer look at the accessories that are included with the Captain Vaughn figure. Here are the 2 antennae, one for the helmet and one for the left pauldron. They can be affixed to their respective components like so. just by sliding the key on each antenna into the corresponding keyhole. The Ahsoka Tano hologram and the Captain Rex hologram can each key into this holo projector. Once the hologram of your choice is in place, it can then be situated into the opening gesturing hand like so, and can be swapped out at your leisure to tell whatever story you like to tell with your pose. The DC-15A and the DC-15C are familiar armaments for any clone. Each is painted in a gunmetal gray finish and strategically weathered at appropriate points along the lengths of the gun. And finally, here's a closer look at the assortment of swap-out hands, including the thumb gesturing hand, the index finger gesturing hand, the two gun gripping hands, and the open gesturing hand for holding the holo emitter. This has been Sideshow's first look at the Captain Vaughn 6-scale figure by Hot Toys from Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Be sure to follow Unsealed and Revealed, Strike a Pose, and How to Be a Poser for even more posable figure content. If you'd like more information about this figure, follow the link below, and, as always, don't forget to let your geek side show. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the S icon on your screen. If you'd like more information about the product featured in this video, click the link provided under Product Info. Again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.